Canada stands at a pivotal moment, squeezed between the demands of the United States and the opportunities offered by China. Prime Minister Mark Carney faces a stark choice: protect Ontario's auto industry by siding with Washington, or rescue prairie canola farmers by accepting Beijing's offer. This isn't just a trade dispute, it's a test of Canada's sovereignty and future direction. The livelihoods of thousands hang in the balance, as Ottawa's decision will shape the nation for decades. The question is clear. Should Canada reinforce old alliances, or risk forging new ones? The stakes are enormous, and the path forward is anything but certain. For Carney and for Canadians, the next move could redefine our place in the world. The crisis began a year ago when Canada matched U.S. tariffs, slapping a 100% duty on Chinese electric vehicles to protect our auto sector. China retaliated, targeting Canadian canola with crippling tariffs, devastating prairie farmers. The move protected Ontario's factories, but sacrificed the West's agricultural backbone. This tit-for-tat exposed deep regional divides, pitting farmers against factory workers. Diplomatic efforts stalled, and the pain deepened on both sides. The tariffs became symbols of a fractured global order and a divided nation. The cost of aligning with the U.S. was paid daily by prairie families. Now, a high-stakes offer from China forces Canada to confront the consequences of this trade war. China's ambassador publicly offered to lift all canola tariffs if Canada drops its EV tariffs. The deal would instantly revive the prairie economy, but at a steep price. Beijing's move was calculated, forcing Ottawa to choose between farmers and auto workers. By going public, China stoked political pressure in the West and challenged Carney's leadership. The message: save your farmers, but abandon your U.S. alignment. The offer split the country and dominated political debate. It was less an olive branch than a strategic ultimatum. Carney now faces a choice that will define Canada's economic and diplomatic future. China's offer exposed Canada's regional rift. Prairie premiers demanded Carney accept the deal to save their farmers. For them, canola is survival. Ontario's leaders, led by Premier Ford, warned that dropping EV tariffs would devastate the auto sector and risk U.S. retaliation. The auto industry is Ontario's lifeblood, tightly linked to American markets. Carney is caught between two powerful blocs, each demanding protection, each vital to Canada's economy. The debate is about more than trade. It's about fairness and the Federation's future. Prairie leaders see sacrifice. Ontario sees existential threat. Carney must navigate a domestic storm as fierce as any international crisis. The unity of the country itself is at stake. Looming over everything is the uncertainty of U.S. protectionism. The North American auto industry is deeply integrated, but American rhetoric, especially from Donald Trump, threatens that partnership. Trump warned that his policies could make Canadian auto plants obsolete, regardless of our loyalty. This threat changes the equation. Siding with the U.S. no longer guarantees security for Canadian jobs. Is Canada sacrificing its farmers for an auto industry that may be abandoned anyway? The reliability of the U.S. market is now in question. Trade diversification is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. China's offer suddenly looks less like a risk and more like a potential lifeline. Canada must now consider hedging its bets in a world where old certainties are fading. With U.S. loyalty in doubt, some in Ottawa see opportunity in China's outstretched hand. As tensions with America simmer, policymakers and business leaders are quietly weighing the risks and rewards of a deeper relationship with the world's second-largest economy. Could China offer the stability and growth that Canada needs? Or is this a dangerous gamble? Reopening the canola market would bring instant relief to Canadian farmers who have faced uncertainty and financial strain. But the stakes are bigger than just one crop. Agricultural exports are a lifeline for rural communities, and China's vast consumer base could transform the fortunes of entire regions. Could China become a partner for Canada's auto industry if the U.S. turns inward? As electric vehicles and green technology reshape the sector, Chinese companies are eager to invest and collaborate. For Canada, this could mean new jobs, innovation, and a foothold in the industries of tomorrow. Some envision Chinese investment rescuing threatened auto plants, transforming Canada's economic landscape. The promise of revitalized factories and renewed prosperity is tempting, especially in communities hit hard by global shifts. This pivot could diversify exports and reduce dependence on the U.S., opening new trade routes and markets. For decades, Canada's economy has been closely tied to its southern neighbor, but a new era may be dawning. But the risks are real. U.S. retaliation, national security concerns, and the dangers of economic reliance on an authoritarian state. Washington could respond with tariffs or restrictions, and questions about data security and intellectual property loom large. For Carney, the choice is a high-wire act: escape one danger, risk another. Every step must be carefully calculated, balancing economic opportunity with political and ethical realities. The allure of China's market is powerful, but the cost could be steep. Canadian businesses must weigh short-term gains against long-term vulnerabilities, from currency fluctuations to shifting political winds. The future may demand bold moves, but every option carries peril. As global power dynamics shift, Canada faces a crossroads that will test its resolve and vision. Canada's next step could reshape its global alliances for a generation, setting the course for prosperity, or peril, in a rapidly changing world. Prime Minister Carney is playing for time, refusing to rush into a binary choice. Instead of being pressured into picking sides, he's weighing every option, aware that each decision could have far-reaching consequences for Canada's future. Carney's approach is marked by patience and a deep understanding of the complex forces at play on the global stage. He warns against overdependence on any single country, be it China or the U.S. Carney knows that putting all of Canada's eggs in one basket could leave the nation vulnerable to sudden shifts in global politics or economic downturns. He's determined to keep Canada's options open, ensuring that the country remains resilient in the face of uncertainty. Carney seeks a third way, a broader diplomatic solution that protects both farmers and factory workers. He understands that Canada's prosperity depends on the success of its diverse industries, from agriculture to manufacturing. By forging new partnerships and strengthening existing ones, he hopes to create a safety net for all Canadians, regardless of where they work or live. Behind the scenes, he's negotiating with Beijing and Washington, searching for a compromise. These talks are delicate, requiring careful diplomacy and a willingness to listen as much as to speak. Carney's team is working tirelessly to find common ground, even when the path forward seems uncertain. High-level talks are underway, with Foreign Affairs Minister Anand heading to China and ongoing discussions with U.S. officials. These meetings are more than just formalities. They're opportunities to build trust, address misunderstandings, and lay the groundwork for future cooperation. Every handshake and conversation could tip the balance. Carney's strategy is careful calibration, restoring trade with China without destroying ties to the U.S. It's a balancing act that requires constant adjustment as global markets shift and new challenges emerge. He's determined to keep Canada's economy strong, no matter which way the winds of international politics blow. It's a delicate chess match, where one wrong move could cost Canada dearly. Every decision is weighed with the utmost caution, as Carney knows that a single misstep could have ripple effects across the nation's economy and its relationships abroad. The government is not waiting for fate, it's working to shape the outcome. Teams of advisors and experts are analyzing every scenario, preparing for both the best and worst possibilities. Their goal? To ensure Canada emerges stronger, no matter what challenges arise. The stakes, Canada's economic future and its role on the world stage, could not be higher. The choices made today will determine whether Canada remains a key player in global trade or risks being sidelined in the years to come. Carney's next move will define his legacy and the nation's direction. As the world watches, every step he takes will shape not just his own story, but the future of Canada itself. Canada stands at a crossroads, with Carney's decision set to shape the nation for decades. The weight of this moment is immense, as the choices made now will ripple through generations, affecting not just our economy, but our identity and place in the world. Accepting China's offer would rescue prairie farmers and signal a bold pivot, but risk U.S. retaliation and deeper ties to an authoritarian regime. It could mean new markets for our crops, a lifeline for struggling communities, and a chance to diversify our trade. Yet, it also means stepping into a complex web of global politics, where every gain comes with a cost. Rejecting it would protect the auto industry and our U.S. alliance, but sacrifice the West, and leave us exposed to American whims. Our relationship with the United States has long been a cornerstone of our prosperity, but it can also be unpredictable, leaving us vulnerable to shifting policies and priorities south of the border. Each path carries profound risks and uncertain rewards. The future is clouded with unknowns, and every option demands a leap of faith. The choice is not just about canola or cars, it's about Canada's sovereignty, alliances, and values. It's about who we stand with and what we stand for as a nation. There is no easy answer, only trade-offs. Every decision comes with consequences, and the balance between risk and reward has never been more delicate. Carney must weigh immediate pain against long-term security. The pressure is immense, as the livelihoods of millions and the future of entire regions hang in the balance. The decision will define Canada's place in a fractured world. In an era of shifting alliances and rising tensions, our choices now will echo far beyond our borders. The stakes, our prosperity, our unity, and our future. This is about more than economics. It's about the kind of country we want to be, and the legacy we leave for those who come after us. The world is watching as Canada chooses its path. In this pivotal moment, our decision will not only shape our destiny, but also signal to the world what Canada truly stands for.